man, thanks for the follow. How's it going? Doing well. Just gonna get an early morning stream in. Got vacation this week, so nice change to not have to get up and log into the computer for work. Yeah, trying not to work. Trying to make it look like you're working. Having some troubles trying to figure out why sizing doesn't seem right. I think it's getting there. Not even trying to pretend. It's pretty solid. So do you work, you do graphic design? Are you like freelance, or do you work for a company? W2 contract. Not sure I know what that means. I'm in Canada. That specifically. Those things that's tough to explain, I guess. I see. It's a little bit of your own thing, but you still work with a group to help maintain workflow, I suppose. it's supposed to work. Testing. And sometimes it just doesn't work out the way it's supposed to. I work with a company that creates the software that I do the installation work for. It's just with them particularly. Yeah. But at this point, that we've worked from home since the virus and everything, and right now we're working from home until September. It's great. It reduces the commute, all that sort of good stuff. So, which makes it interesting for taking vacation, because here we're still, like, things are opening up and do more things, but not like all of the tourist attractions and what have you. So there's a lot of still sitting around at home, which is similar to normal. Just outside of Toronto, basically. Work from home's been pretty good for me. I have an office, which is now right at the moment where I'm doing this art stream, and so it's covered in colored pencils and stuff. So I have a place to do my work and sort of be quiet and concentrate. So it's been working out pretty good for me. Yeah, we keep looking at your numbers and just like, what is going on? I'm trying to, one of the things that I find with my drawing, at least, is that it can go quite quickly. So I've been working on a set of wrestlers. I've got, it started with doing the Hulkster, and then we moved on to Macho Man, and we did Ultimate Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter, Bushwhackers, and then I did Ric Flair. And so Ric Flair is a good example. Felt like I rushed it, and so it looks messy to me. So what I'm trying to do is trying to make an effort to slow down and just take my time so that it can be clean, like the Hulkster. So these ones are done on personal cardstock. So it is basically on the back of the card. There's my contact information and sort of information about me as the artist. A place for me to sign the back. So generally, they'll just be sold if somebody's interested, just as the actual original piece of art. I would expect that if I was going to sell prints, I would probably draw them as, say, a 5x7, so twice as big as they would, and then scan them in so that they can be printed at this size or what have you. But the other thing is they'll do, there's a group of artists on Facebook, Artists Unite, and so it's a Facebook group, and they came together and did 90s to the extreme. So generally, I'm just starting out, so for something like this, I've been pricing my stuff at $25 US for a card. It takes me about an hour to do them, so it's not really making a whole lot of money. That's where you are. So these guys did 90s to the extreme, and what they do is they sell the actual cardstock, and it's a heavy 3-ply cardstock, and they'll sell this with the printing. And the idea is that if all the artists do a bunch of 90s themed stuff in the collector groups, you can build up some traction and excitement around the theme, and then the artists can sell them for whatever they want. And if you meant how much for a card, the actual card itself, it's like 10 cents. I have like 1,000 of these ones with my piece on it. So do you sell prints and originals of your work? Because that's really something that I've been struggling with myself. It's like, how do you value your work? I know you don't want to, your time and your skills are worth something, worth quite a bit, because I know how many hours I spend drawing. So, but I always find it hard. It's that balance. How do you make it so that you're not overpricing them, so that you actually make a sale? And everybody looks at them and too expensive. Yeah, so if your friend's interested in the wrestling cards, most of them are posted on my Instagram, and basically anything that I post on my Instagram is technically up for sale. So I don't have a place like a store or eBay or anything like that. It's just more, if you're interested, you can send me a message and work something out. Yeah, the sell if somebody asks. I find it's tricky to go and try to sell it. Basically, what I've sort of thought with the pricing for myself is, if I've drawn it because I thought it was fun, Hulk Hogan and these wrestlers, I felt like that's a little bit just for me. I liked it growing up, and so it's something that I'm interested in, and I thought it was fun. So I'm picking it, and then I'm looking at 25. If you pick something that you want as a commission, you want me to draw something specific, then I may put the price a little higher. Start at 30 instead. Yeah, no problem. Nice. Undertaker's one of my favorite wrestlers as well. The one thing I found with Undertaker, and just so you're aware, if you are interested in having me do a commission, I found it hard to find decent references that aren't just all black. So, if you're interested, I would just ask for some assistance with finding the references of which ones you were looking for. And if it was Undertaker, I would say we would just do the 25 because it's right in line with what I've been looking to do, what I've been drawing, and the only reason why there isn't an Undertaker card yet is because I couldn't find a reference that I like. So did he just officially retire? Like this week or this year? I remember something about that. All versions of his character, nice. Yeah, and that's where it does get tricky. Some of his versions of his character, so his original version where he's got the grays and purples, those ones are easier to pick out the details because it's a little bit more color contrast, a little bit more details to actually draw. But then he goes into lots of different black on black. Yeah, I think I saw something about that, like it was going to be his last WrestleMania, and does he go undefeated? I know he was carrying an undefeated record for WrestleManias. or 6 versions. Definitely pricing is tricky. I'm waiting for the next part. Where you drop the knowledge bomb, I guess. First thing anyone needs to do is place a value on their own time. An hour of time. Yeah, exactly. Whoa. "41 messages? This 41 messages were deleted by the moderator. He said one thing. Oh, hey Hiroshin. Yeah, I was getting nervous about the likeness there, but it's coming along. I think that one eye needs to be sort of lifted a bit. So Hiroshin, for Crap a Lot is an artist on Twitch as well. we ran into each other just a while ago. So we're having a conversation about how do you price your work. So that's where the cursive text was blocked, I suppose. Artists tend to hurt themselves with placing value on. Yeah. I think the balance is so. I think where it gets tricky, at least, is I can set what an hour of my time is worth. Now I need to find somebody who's going to purchase my piece and is willing to pay what I feel an hour of my time is worth. Or what an hour of work. To become efficient, not price. Oh, I see. You mean you gotta raise your hourly rate as you're able to do more in an hour? Like, I would imagine if you're efficient, you don't want to. Just because I can draw two in an hour doesn't mean I should charge less. Minimum hour pricing is a good way to counter this. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, price it is the only job. Yeah, I think that's one part I'm having trouble with myself, because it's not. In one way, I feel like, oh yeah, I can afford to I'm doing it as a hobby, and a lot of it is sort of an enjoyment factor. So I feel like I can afford to go cheap or cheaper because I'm not using it as income. I use it more to like support buying more art supplies. I see. That's how you set your hourly rate, yeah. Well, so one of the things that I was looking at too, hourly rate. So, software consultant, like by day job, basically. We're gonna say I can do overtime. I can do additional. I can do additional hours at work, and then I'm gonna get bonus pay for doing those additional hours. Well, that bonus pay is it works out to a certain amount of value. I can't necessarily use that. I mean, in one way I could say, well, my time, that's what my time is worth. Because if I do this other activity will bring in X dollars an hour. And so my time, if I want to spend it on something to make money, I could spend it on that. But is my time, does that relate to my skill in drawing? But I think you're right. If I only do hobbyist pricing, for sure, that's all I'm gonna ever get. It's gonna be harder to raise the amounts, for sure. So, then I guess honest opinion as from an artist, if I say it takes me an hour to do card, say an hour to an hour and a half, I'm gonna suspect you would say that's too low. I know you just said you possibly would want to do a commission. Let's say it doesn't affect that amount, but yeah, so you 40 to 60 an hour. You know, you talk then hard. I mean, in the groups, you can definitely see there are people who are charging, you know, $200 for a card. Generally, the ones that are more expensive are the actual ones that are on the Topps card stock. So they are the rare ones, right? Because Topps only releases so much of that. There's rules around what can be drawn on the card, but I've seen ones for sale for like $200, $300 per card. But so then how do I find somebody who wants it? Who wants my work? I think that's the other struggle that I have with the whole process. I've got 600 people on Instagram who follow, and then you get 600, but how many of those are actually interested in what you do? And then I do a stream like this, and I got a viewer. Yeah, advertisement. So when you say advertising, do you mean like actual paid advertisements on these platforms, or you just mean going around and talking to different people? Yeah, you can't make people want it, that's for sure. You just gotta figure out a way. How do you find the people who would be interested in it? Like you said, your friend is interested in wrestling, so I gotta find a way to get this picture in front of them, or in front of you. giant hair like Maui. For sure. Yeah, for sure. I've been trying to do some of that kind of stuff. That's been working. I did a set of Stranger Things ones. I found some fan art groups on Instagram and tagged them, and now I find I can see that they're still interested in other fan art groups. So, I mean, that definitely worked. And then some of them shared it. A feature on our page. Been slow going. People will see that and want it. Just be careful around yeah. Yeah, that's a tricky part too. Technically, you're not supposed to do it. Yeah, one of the reasons why I did sign up for the whole Star Wars cards from Topps is kind of that idea. It's I mean, it's cool. You create collectible art, and it's a franchise that I really like. See, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt right now. Most of my shirts are Star Wars. But so you make something that you enjoy, but also there's a whole collector's group, there's a whole collector's market for the Star Wars stuff. And so the hope there is that when I can get to a point where I can share my official Topps artwork with that group, it sort of puts my name out there as, oh, there's another artist that potentially I could go to for commissions and that kind of stuff. Organic growth is slow and hard, but if you do it right, you can grow a strong foundation of support. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's exactly right. You try to play game and speed track through it, or fast track through the whole process. You're gonna end up with, yeah, maybe a whole bunch of numbers to go with your account, but they're not actual people that care about your stuff. some of these fan pages are great. Maybe they'll share your stuff, but once they've shared your stuff and they got the likes out of it, they're on to the next artist. How long have you been doing the streaming and stuff? It looks like you've got affiliate on your stream. You've met those requirements and what have you. And from the other night too, it did look like you've got those solid fans like Pencils and I forget the other names, but I did notice Pencils went live shortly after for over a year. Yeah. So one of the things for me is not this past Father's Day, but the Father's Day before, I got a sketchbook and some Micron pens. And I'd always liked drawing, and always been into it. And so then when I got that, I decided, okay, I'm going to take it seriously. And so you can see in my Instagram, if you look through the whole year, you can see where I started just over a year ago, and this is what I'm working on now. So, and in that time, I've got those 600 or so numbers on my account, and still got a long ways to go to make it into a real lucrative thing. Hit affiliate early. I streamed 5 days a week for like 3 months and nailed it. Fell off. Now I'm working on earning my viewers time. The ink piece has been a big help. Yeah, that ink piece is great. I mean, that's one of the things when I watch you do that ink piece that you've been working on, you really take your time with it, and you're really working on it, making sure all the lines are perfect. You can see my sort of style, even when I'm doing this part, is a lot more sketchy, and I know if I want to make my art stand out a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner, I've gotta slow down. Plus, you got all that great music that you play. Scares me, yeah. I think lots of times that's the best way to really go about it. Find something that's not your comfort zone, and you can be surprised with what comes out. Although I can definitely see how you're gonna go on stream and try something new. It's not the most comfortable thing because it could go bad. Yeah, I kind of think that too. Know exactly what I need to do. I just need to keep working at it. Just keep going at doing what I'm doing and stop worrying about the fact. Stop worrying about the numbers for now. And the numbers should get there eventually. I'm not looking to have tons of people, but oh, hey, who else am I drawing? So, Rock is not the first one. I've got, what's this? 6 done already. I've got Hulk Hogan was the first one that I did. And then I went to Macho Man. I got Ultimate Warrior. So The Rock is actually sort of the newest guy there. Sort of newest in terms of timeline, and obviously the guy I'm working on, Sergeant Slaughter, got here. Hey, True Turtle, how are you doing? We got the Bushwhackers, and then we've got Ric Flair. So I've got a list of guys that I've been planning to do, but we've got 6, working on the 7th so far. Yeah, I think so too. I think when you look at the Hulk, something came together really well. I'm pretty happy with the first 3, but the Hulk definitely, he started the trend. He got it going right off the bat, and I think there's just something about how it came together that really, really works. Just make sure you're doing this for yourself first, and if you forget that, you won't progress in a positive way. Yeah, for sure. I think a stream like this one is sort of exactly what I'm hoping for. I don't expect to have or want necessarily to have tons and tons of people in the chat. Thank you, True Turtle. Great art. But a little conversation, a little bit of people enjoying some time to chat about art, and I think that's really what I'm looking for. Just having another way to enjoy the process. So, and it's not my day job, so at this point, if it's slow going, it's not hurting the pocketbook. Although it's always nice to make a little side hustle if we're gonna talk Gary Vee here. You're gonna do Taker or Brett? We were just talking about Undertaker earlier, actually. Undertaker's my favorite wrestler from back in the day, and I do have some reference pulled up for him, but the trouble I was finding with Undertaker is that he's very dark in all of his pictures, and so it makes it really difficult to find one where I can get the details out. So Undertaker is on the list, and Brett the Hitman Hart. Oh, thanks, Sir Crapalot. Thanks for the chat. We'll see you around next time. Brett the Hitman Hart. Yeah, definitely. Also on the list, or definitely I'll put him on the list. Great character. Look to put him on the list of characters. So actually, I've been drawing so many wrestlers and enjoying the process of that, but yesterday when I was not on stream, I had to go back and do something else, so I did this Spider-Man. I just needed some time to not do skin colors, and I wanted to play around with the red coloring. So one of the things when I did Ric Flair, it works out okay here. Oh, thank you for the follow. It gets patchy, and I can take it out of this sleeve. It gets patchy, and it doesn't look as patchy in person, but definitely on the stream camera it has a patchy look to his overcoat, his jacket or coat or robe there. So in here what I did was I used some Copic markers or alcohol markers to lay the foundation, and just did some highlights with the pencil crayons. So I think it worked out okay. I do have some struggles with the Marvel style, but always trying to improve, so we'll see where that goes. So I only bring that up because talk about here's all the different wrestlers that I've done, but it's not only wrestlers that I would draw. Wolverine. Yep. You know what? Wolverine, I've tried to draw Wolverine so many times. And if we're talking Wolverine from, say, the 90s cartoon, there's something about that mask that I have a really hard time trying to crack. Trying to figure out how to draw, get the proportions of that mask. It's really something that's tricky. I have done Logan pieces, and those have turned out okay, but not one in the mask that I've been super happy with. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the mask. I think in some ways masks and helmets are something that I struggle with now. I spent a lot of time building my skills to be able to draw faces and portraits, and now when I try to go away from faces and portraits and draw a mask, I don't know if it's just not a comfort level or something like that, but I feel like I struggle with it. And lately I've been drawing in this small scale, partly because I am now an official Topps sketch card artist for Star Wars. So I've done a set of cards for a Star Wars set of cards that are due out in September. and so that got me into the sketch card size like this, but I have done larger pieces. Lately, all of my pieces have been of this sketch card size though. So do you have an Instagram or a Twitch that you draw, or do you just draw as a hobby? So you do a lot of Marvel stuff, or you just, and DC I suppose for Batman there? Is it under your same name? Oh, I see. Oh, nice. So I just see the first one here. All that. Yeah, you definitely can draw Wolverine there. And that's digital work that you've got? That's awesome work. I really like the way you've done the colors, the soft colors of these characters, and sort of a little bit of a painter style on them. That's great. Big fan of the old school WWF wrestlers. Yeah, I find it funny. You can tune in, and it's like the same type of thing, but knowing the iconic characters, it's not quite like. I mean, the stories are very similar. The way they act and do their stuff very similar in the current stuff, but you don't got the Hulk, or you don't got Hulk Hogan, you don't got Undertaker, Ultimate Warrior. Kind of need those things to make it what it was. But I assume it's just as popular, really. Still doing well. So is art a hobby for you, or you do you sell prints of those pieces that you had on Instagram? More sound and yeah. Yeah, and I looked a little while ago, a few weeks ago, and they were having to wrestle with no fans, and then that's, I'm sure the fact, at least on TV, with all the fans and everything, you know, adds to the atmosphere. But now you don't have any fans. You're gonna lose half of your excitement. So I've just got these, on all of these wrestlers I've been doing this fade with the Copics as the background, so I'm just going to finish this one up with the same, so it just fits in. And it's just a cool gray, stepping down the shades. Wrestlers aren't as jacked. Yeah, that's part of the whole thing, right? Huge guys, just monsters, basically. Well, I think we're gonna call this one finished, and we're gonna look to sign off on the stream. So I'm just gonna have a look to see who's going right now. But thank you all for joining. Thanks for all the chats, and good luck with your different artwork. So I'm just gonna jump over here, and we're gonna pick somebody to raid. I don't know if you guys have seen Domo Stanton. He yeah. Every time I say that, my kids say it smells like stale beans. So we got Domo Stanton. He's an artist with DC, I believe it is, and he's doing. Looks like he's drawing a big Spider-Man piece at the moment, possibly something else. So we're gonna jump over to him. Thanks again for joining. Thanks for the follows, and see you guys next time. So we'll start the raid. It's gonna take a little bit before I go across, but again, we'll see you guys in the next one.